From Fox 5 New York, this is Good Day Weekend.
Good morning and welcome to Good Day Weekend. It's Sunday, June 8th. I'm Lisa Evers in the Fox 5 newsroom. Thank you for joining us live on the Fox Local app. Breaking news regarding that boat fire in the Bronx last night. Officials say an arrest has been made. They say they arrested 33-year-old Joshua Brito and charged him with DWI and other charges. Meanwhile, officials are trying to determine what led to the boat fire near Hart Island. It happened around 8:30 last night in the Long Island Sound. Nearly 24 people ended up in the water. Most swam to safety and a few had to be rescued.
Once Marine 4 got on scene, they plucked 3 people out of the water. One orange tag, 1 red tag, and 1 green tag. The other 19 people were able to swim to shore onto Hart Island, where they were transported by PD, Coast Guard, and FDNY units to the boat basin here on City Island, where we were able to get them to be evaluated at a hospital.
Investigators are trying to determine if the boat exploded or if a fire somehow started on board and then spread. Officials say the boat appeared to be overcrowded. This incident forced the shutdown of City Island's only bridge for hours while the rescue effort was underway. The bridge has since reopened. Also developing, President Trump is deploying 2,000 National Guard troops to Los Angeles. This comes after a second day of clashes between hundreds of protesters and federal immigration authorities. It's happening despite the objections of California Governor Gavin Newsom. Protests in Los Angeles erupted after federal immigration authorities arrested dozens of people during ICE raids at multiple locations. Officers threw flash grenades into the street to disperse people as they shouted, "Set them free," and recorded the scene with their cell phones. Dozens have been arrested.
They are saying they're doing this because they're going after criminals. They're not going after criminals, they're going after workers.
I think it's horrible, honestly. I think there needs to be some change because there's no way that this should be all right, that they could just come in and take them whenever they want.
The head of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has previously defended similar tactics, but L.A. Mayor Karen Bass said the ICE activity was meant to sow terror in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, protests are erupting in our area, too. These taking place outside of the U.S. Immigration and Customs headquarters at Federal Plaza in Lower Manhattan. Officials tell us multiple demonstrators were taken into custody. This all comes after an 11th grader was detained by ICE agents while he was attending an asylum hearing last week. State Senator Mike Gianaris is calling for his release, and the city is saying it is aware and concerned. We've reached out to Homeland Security, but have not heard back. This is at least the second time one of the city's public school students has been detained by ICE. And here's a look at your weekend weather. Today, temperatures in the 70s with a chance of an afternoon shower. Tonight, mostly cloudy with temps in the low 60s. Tomorrow, in the low 70s and cloudy. It's a weekend filled with pride and passion as Puerto Rican culture takes center stage. Fox 5's Meredith Gorman went to experience salsa at the 116th Street Festival in East Harlem.
An estimated 500,000 people came to East Harlem on Saturday for the 116th Street Festival, celebrating Puerto Rican and Hispanic culture.
Part of the weekend favorite to me is that I meet my people. I see everybody enjoying a nationality, how we came here, how our parents came here as immigrants and had to go through to get all the services they needed.
The food is very good. It is nice to come. We come every year.
You get to see all the old friends that are still alive. You get to enjoy yourself. And it's like all these people I grew up with.
It's the 40th anniversary of the event, which features entertainment, music, and lots of food.
You don't have to run around from borough to borough to eat food. There's a lot of food that is being prepared from all the different Hispanic people.
Just a few blocks away, Love on the Block Public Safety Day for Harlem residents was held by We All Really Matter. The event honored and remembered Mama Z, 61-year-old Xenia Mete, the Harlem grandmother who was recently shot and killed by a stray bullet while intervening in a street shooting. And June 7th officially became named Mama Z Day.
My mother, honestly, from my eyes, from my heart, from my mind, she would have loved this. This was her. Mama Z Day, June 7th. Don't miss it.
Meredith Gorman, Fox 5 News.
The Puerto Rican Day Parade steps off in just a few hours, and we're putting the spotlight on a proud Puerto Rican family with 3 siblings who all work for the NYPD. Fox 5's Jessica Formoso introduces us to the Figueroa family.
I'm Inspector Angel Figueroa, Jr.
Captain Miguel Figueroa, brother to Inspector Angel Figueroa.
I am Lieutenant Michelle Figueroa, and I'm their sister.
3 siblings, 3 different rankings, but they all share the same love for the uniform.
What's amazing about it is not just that we entered the police department and, took on the challenges, that we've had, but also going up within the ranks within the police department. I think that's what's fascinating.
A Puerto Rican family of NYPD officers who, with dedication and hard work, rose through the ranks of the NYPD. Inspector Angel Figueroa Jr. was the first in his family to become a cop. He became a police officer in July of 2005. Fast forward, today he's the commanding officer of the New York City Police Academy.
Detail, attention!
6 months after Inspector Figueroa became a cop, Captain Miguel Figueroa followed his footsteps.
Started from a very young age. However, the fact that my brother, led the way, it definitely made it a lot easier.
And right behind, a few years later, their sister, Lieutenant Michelle Figueroa.
It's definitely something I'm very proud of. I'm proud of my brothers as well. It's definitely humbling.
Not only do they share the love for the NYPD, but also their heritage is on full display. Proud of being Puerto Ricans and being able to show it off in the NYPD.
The name recognition and just knowing that there's other Latinos and Hispanics out there, that share similar stories to us, and it's something that that's inspiring and I'm truly proud of.
Set the standard for what is it, that Puerto Ricans could strive to be within this department. And there's been a lot of, other successful executives that came before me, but it's good to just continue to follow and trailblaze that path in order to have a lot more of us come right behind.
And right behind, his 2 sons, Cadet Angel III and Explorer Aurelius, on the path to someday, if they choose, to become officers.
It's given me that exposure to see another side of the NYPD that I would say a lot of people don't get to see.
I became an explorer because my mom reached out to me saying, there's something fun you should do. You get community service hours for it, and you could also be like your father.
It's in their blood, and no matter what they choose to be, they will always be part of the NYPD. In College Point, I'm Jessica Formoso, Fox 5 News.
More than 10,000 women of all ages were racing through Central Park this weekend. They were taking part in the 53rd MasterCard New York Mini 10K. Running alongside some very excited amateurs were 16 Olympians and Paralympians, World Championship medalists, and record holders from 11 countries. The event was hosted by the New York Roadrunners. And there are some bad sports going after athletes. Sports bettors are taking their online heckling to a new level in order to win. Fox 5's Kendall Green shows us the concerning rise in harassment.
You know what I'm doing here? I support track and field.
Athletes have a history with hecklers, whether it's at Arthur Ashe Stadium during the U.S. Open.
They had no respect for the player that I am.
Or in their own lane on the track. Particularly female athletes nowadays are up against more than just their opponents.
Don't choke Gabby like you did yesterday, Gabby.
Back in 2022, tennis star Naomi Osaka commented on the heckler's impact in the match she ended up losing in Queens, referencing comments that echoed from years before.
I've watched a video of Venus and Serena getting heckled here, and I don't know why, but it went into my head and it got replayed a lot.
The latest victim of an overbearing heckler, 3-time Olympic gold medalist Gabby Thomas, who was harassed at the Grand Slam track meet in Philadelphia last weekend. You can hear the heckler, driven beyond decency by gambling.
Gabby's scared. I see it in her face. She's scared.
The man later posted on X bragging about winning a sports bet by throwing her off, The Olympian, in response, posted her frustration online, saying the user followed her around the track, shouting personal insults like these.
Melissa got married this year, got a black husband. Gabby got a white guy. I want Melissa to win.
This is an illness. We need to get a hold of ourselves.
Clinical Associate Professor of Psychology Dr. Harris Straightner says the prevalence of harassment stemming from gambling appears to be on the rise across the country, and it takes its toll on athletes.
It completely demoralizes them. It affects their performance completely. They don't even feel like they want to play at times. They feel a sense of depression.
He predicts if politicians, athletic leagues, and venues don't step up, the experience fans get watching sports could be dampened by stars' poor performance at no fault of their own. Kendall Green, Fox 5 News.
Tom Cruise is known for his daredevil stunts, and he now holds a new world record. Cruise set the record for most burning parachute jumps while filming the new Mission Impossible movie. He jumped from a helicopter 7,500 feet in the air with a fuel-soaked parachute which ignited during the descent and was cut away before he deployed a backup chute. And he did this 16 times. Guinness finished his fearlessness and dedication to authenticity, calling Cruise a true action hero. And don't go away, we'll be right back. But first, here's the 7-day forecast for the week ahead. And here's a look at your weekend weather. Today, temperatures in the 70s, and there's a chance for an afternoon shower. Tonight, mostly cloudy with temps in the low 60s. Tomorrow, in the low 70s and cloudy. This week on the 5 o'clock news, cardiologist Dr. Jane Morgan joined us live to discuss the impact weight loss drugs could have on birth control pills.
In Fox 5 Health News, a concerning side effect of weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Mounjaro. A watchdog group in the UK found women on birth control still got pregnant while using the weight loss pills.
All right, joining us now, Dr. Jane Morgan, a cardiologist in Atlanta, Georgia. All right, walk us through this. This is certainly alarming, but I guess it does make sense. Walk us through how these pills are absorbed by the body.
Well, and it's not just a matter, Steve, of how the pills are absorbed. When you're taking these weight loss drugs, they decrease the rate of forward flow of your food, your digestion, your whole digestion system shuts down. And so there's decreased absorption, is certainly slowed. And so we may expect that with birth control pills. There may be decreased absorption, so therefore less efficacy, meaning they're not working as well as intended. But we also may expect to see that in other types of medications as well, people taking blood pressure medicines and any other type of medication. So it's worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, for women who are not looking to get pregnant, I mean, should this be cause for concern? Should they look at other methods of contraception?
You know, there are a number of reasons, and we still really don't have real data on it. We've got all of these reports of these pregnancies, and it could be, you know, obesity also makes it more difficult to get pregnant. So as you lose weight, you actually may be able to get pregnant more easily. It may also be psychologically. Women are feeling better about themselves, feeling sexier, and involving in more sex and sexual encounters that perhaps are not protected as they lose weight. We actually do not know what those reasons are. We do know, however, that all of these weight loss drugs, these GLP-1s, really have been advised to not be used if you are pregnant or trying to get pregnant, even 2 months after pregnancy, simply because they haven't been studied. So you definitely should make certain that you're using a birth control and perhaps an alternate birth control as well while we try to figure out this mechanism.
Dr. Morgan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
We'll be right back with a look at what you missed this week on Good Day New York. And here's a look at your weekend weather. Today, temperatures in the 70s, and there's a chance for an afternoon shower. Tonight, mostly cloudy with temps in the low 60s. Tomorrow, in the low 70s and cloudy. This week on Good Day New York, Crystal Young checked out the city's largest rooftop pool. If you're looking for a good way to cool off this summer, look no further than Williamsburg.
Good morning, good morning. So Bath House Williamsburg is fabulous. It is the perfect place for you to catch a breeze, sit by the pool, go in the pool, all the things when it is definitely going to be warm, because I know that today is going to be a scorcher. I feel it already. The heat is coming up, but if you come to Bath House Williamsburg, you don't have to worry about it because you are in a place where you can relax and take a dip anytime you want to. Now, I am right across from the barrel sauna. That's one of the fun things that's on this roof when you come here. Hold on one second. Let me just get the co-founder. Oh, hello. Jason Goodman. Come on out of that barrel sauna and talk to me. Good morning.
Good morning, Crystal.
Good morning. Okay, so let's talk about how outstanding this is, and eventually we are going to swing around and show you that gorgeous view. But this is such a good perch and a beautiful, beautiful pool. It is 120 feet, correct?
120 foot long.
Okay.
This is the biggest rooftop pool in New York City.
Okay, I like it. Now, let's talk about how people can get up here. Do you have to have some sort of a membership? Can you just get a day pass if you want to hang out and eat and sip and go in the water?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
No membership required.
Okay.
You can go to our website, book a day pass.
Okay.
Coming up, if you book a day pass, you can use the full facility.
Okay.
Downstairs we have pools and saunas. Upstairs we have pools and saunas. You can stay as long as you like.
Okay.
For a few extra bucks, you can book a private day bed.
Oh.
If you prefer that.
All
but
right.
you don't have to.
That's worth it. That's worth it for sure. All right. Now, another thing that I want to point out is there's a whole scenario where you can eat a little and drink a little, because come on, that goes with sitting outside with your sunblock on, catching some rays. So you guys have snacks, but you can also get alcohol, right?
That's right.
All right. So you have dates, you have olives. What's all this?
So downstairs we have a full service restaurant. Up here we have a really gourmet concession stand and a full bar.
Okay.
So we have an amazing natural wine list. We have Prosecco on tap, great beers, some specialty cocktails. It's a really fun hangout.
Oh, Prosecco on tap. Did you say that?
Very refreshing.
All right, I like it. You are speaking my language. And as I glance down at this tray, it's really cute because I am a fiend for anything gummy. So I love that you have even Swedish. That is very, very cool. Okay, what is the website? If people want to hop on there and go, you know what, I ain't got time to go to the Hamptons or the beach, I'm going to come here. What's the website?
abathhouse.com.
A, like A as in the letter.
The letter A, bathhouse.com. Very simple.
All right.
We'll be right back with a look at what you missed this week on Good Night New York. But first, let's take a look at weather for the week ahead. Here's a look at your weekend weather today. Temperatures in the 70s, and there's a chance for an afternoon shower. Tonight, mostly cloudy with temps in the low 60s. Tomorrow, in the low 70s and cloudy. With the Tony Awards tonight, Broadway had a big revival this past year, with ticket sales reaching pre-pandemic levels. Ryan and Crystal had 16-time Tony Award-winning producer Wendy Fetterman on to discuss the year on Broadway and the star power coming to the stage.
I've always wanted to know this. As a Broadway producer, what really is your function? Are you getting eyes on a production, or are you helping to choose who's in it? Or are you like the woman with the money bags in the back?
You know,
is it all of it?
Everything you've said and more.
Okay.
Every show is a bit different.
Okay.
On some, I'm in Inception. On other ones, it's things that sort of, as I say, I see something in London and I just say, this is brilliant and I would love to be part of your Broadway team, or vice versa. So it really can be, but you know, usually there's finances involved. But you know, what I really do enjoy is when there's the ability to be involved in creative conversations, the marketing, and it's not just getting the show open, it's also keeping it open. You know, audience engagement, again, selling tickets and strategies, especially if you're looking at something long term, or again, where do we go from here? So again, every show is sort of has its own story to it.
And you mentioned finance. I mean, Broadway was struggling just after the pandemic. Finally, this year, back to where it was before the pandemic.
Correct.
So talk to us about this season in particular, why it was so impactful. We saw so many A-listers, from Denzel to Jake Gyllenhaal. The list goes on and on. George Clooney, Sarah Snook. I mean, the list goes on and on. So how did that impact Broadway?
Well, I think the fact that that Hollywood is visiting us here in New York, I think it's given us more of a national attention. tourism is back. National tourism is certainly back. So if people are coming in to see a big star, and then they notice that, you know, when they come out of the theater and they had a great time, and there's a new musical that they may not have heard of, but they enjoyed themselves, it's a spillover. So it's nice that it is, you know, just putting Broadway into the conversation is quite wonderful. But, you know, the big stars, sometimes they come and they go. So I'm also it's very important to support the shows, again, the new brands. You know, we want to discover these talents. Everybody you mentioned had a first show or a first TV show or a first film.
They did.
So it's also very important. And unless you really feel the need to, if it's an understudy, give them a shot, because you know,
you never know.
Well, it could be the next. Everyone knows the Sutton Foster story or the Shirley MacLaine story, and you never know that you can tell the story that I was there when they came on, and look what happens. Exactly.
So
I would like to know what you think of the Othello snub, and the reason why I'm asking was so much was made about promoting it and the money and how they broke all these box office records, and then I think everyone was waiting like, okay, it's gonna get something. So I guess that you can't look at the money that was raised versus, like, you know, what people thought was worthy of a Tony.
Again, I think there's about 45 nominators. They, from what I understand, vote discreetly and all of that, and I don't really know the logics or the reasoning. This was one of the strongest seasons we have had in years in plays, in new musicals. So it was very, very difficult, I'm sure, for the nominators to really have to choose. You know, I just attended the Drama Desk Awards, which includes Broadway, off-Broadway, off-Broadway. I think they see over 260 shows.
Oh, wow.
So those awards, if you want to talk about dedicated nominators.
We'll be right back with this morning's top stories, but first, here's a look at your 7-day forecast for the week ahead.